Well, welcome back to the Hotel Orloff. It is June the 5th, 2024. It's New Comic Book Day at comic book stores across the nation. And if you're like me, I don't have a comic store close by. So we're going to virtually see what the new books are today with by stopping by uh, a store in Mesa, Arizona, the famous Gotham City Comics, owned by Kevin Johnson. That store has been there since 1857, before the Civil War. Um, so he'll be dropping by in a little bit. Maybe you'll be dropping by a little bit later too, because I have the link in the chat. It is right here. All one of you may drop by. Look what I just found here on top of the comic books behind me. Look at this little cowboy guy. He's got his hands tied behind his back, and he's, yikes. It looks like, yeah, I have to find the stand that he's supposed to be on. I'm assuming that, I'm assuming he's about to be hung. Um, so anyway, I'll add that to my cowboy and Indian display downstairs. I keep finding little cowboys here and there that can be added to that. Let's see what we got. We're waiting. You have to be patient. Let's see. What is this? Oh, I see. Oh, look at this. Do you know who this is on the front? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, what happened here? It's time for a new tripod. The tripod fell right over. The tripod worked magnificently for several years thanks to a present from Captain Strangelife's, who was probably getting annoyed watching my channel and seeing the camera falling over all the time. So he got me this tripod, and it's worked great. But now it's, like everything, they have something called planned obsolescence, where everything's made to eventually break, and then you have to buy another one. And so I've got this all taped together with duct tape and everything. But anyway, back to this. Do you know what important invention that she's responsible for? This actress here. Give you a hint. Her name is Hedy Lamarr. I've got a wax figure of her downstairs. It used to be in a wax museum. Um, Famous movie star, Austrian born. She came over here prior to, World War II. Um, she was a brilliant woman, and she basically invented what, I don't know how to scientifically describe. Basically, she invented the process by which your cell phone works. So you could say she's the inventor of the cell phone without too much of a stretch. Um, but look at this. Look at these. Oh man, let's put this over here where I'm getting some actual light from the camera. You think I'm just killing time, but this is actually very important historically for you to see. Just look at these ads for makeup. They knew how to do it back then. That's for Starlet Makeup Cake. Capture that Hollywood look. See, who is that? That is Lynn Merrick from Columbia Pictures Starlet. Back then, movie stars were signed by particular studios, and and you made movies for that studio unless you could, they would trade you out to another studio for a movie. They sometimes would do that. It was like being on a baseball team. You worked for Paramount, or you worked for Columbia, or you worked for Fox or Warner. um, there's Westmore makeup being advertised by Alexis Smith. Anyway, Captain Gable. Yeah, Clark Gable during the war. That's when military uniforms really looked cool. There he is, doing his thing, taking pictures from an airplane. You can learn a lot of stuff about old Hollywood looking at these old fan magazines. Some of these movies I've never heard of. The Bridges of San Luis Rey, and Mary Lee and Nobody's Darling. I've never heard of Mary Lee. Here's a Claudette Colbert movie, No Time for Love. Oh, here's an ad for when my wife really likes this movie. This is an ad for the movie Cover Girl. A few eye catching scenes from the most exciting musical of 1944. That movie I know of. There's a Ginger Rogers movie. Anyway, oh, here's the makeup brand that's still around, Revlon. Okay. Don't worry, we'll end before 7 o'clock. We're not going to cut into the Graphic Man television program. Um, okay. What is this? Here's Donna Reed on the cover of Life from August 31st, 1953. What? Oh, this was delivered to a PO box in Fort Worth. Okay, this is a Life magazine with Oswald's full Russian diary. Oswald lived in Russia for a while and got married over there. Here's the latest bathing suits in 1945, when the bikini was still a new, shocking thing. Let's move forward a few decades to November of 64 with Show magazine. It's got Ian Fleming's last interview. Look at that. Women's fashion sure has changed, actually. In all honesty, women didn't really dress like those are some interesting glasses. My wife just got some new glasses. She's gonna sunglasses. She's gonna make into prescription glasses, but I don't know. I've never seen glasses quite like that. Look at that hat. Wonder what military that's from. Yes. I must have watched my father smoke thousands of Kent cigarettes in packages just like that. He would go to the PX and come back with cartons and cartons of Kent cigarettes. Here's the 65 Corvair, which was the That was the car that exploded, right? That's the car that Ralph Nader wrote "Unsafe at Any Speed" about, right? And they we have a visitor. Maybe it's Kevin. Let's see what's going on. Oh, Charlton 66 Kilogra 2. I trust all is well. Yes, I just heard from Kevin. I was just talking to him, making sure it was okay to do a live stream, that you'd done a really cool show, and I just started watching it. And I can't wait to watch it as soon as the stream's over, after Graphic Man, whatever. Um, yeah, and because you mentioned me, and that's great. Yeah, it looks like a great video. And your new camera is so crystal clear. It's so high definition. I don't know. It's incredible. I could look and I could read Crosley on the stereo behind you. I could read the Sammy Davis Jr. story. These The clarity of these cameras is a little scary because people can read the titles on your what books you have in your bookshelf. Anyway, and he says, "Thanks, brother. Yes, absolutely, Charlton. You're a great friend. Let me see. This is probably Kevin. Let's get him on. Add to There you are. Ah, look. So this is the big exciting announcement. You may have seen it earlier today on Instagram. Kevin has gotten Gotham City Comics T-shirts in stock, and they're now for sale. So tell us about it, Kevin.
Can you hear me?
Yep, real clear.
Okay. Yeah, there's the new shirts. We have size XL through 5XL, and they're, I think, $20, $22 on the website, I think.
Yeah, that's great. What's the name of the artist that designed that?
This is Josh Kirby did this.
Okay. Is there other stuff by Josh Kirby that you've got, that, or places where we could go to see his artwork?
Instagram, but I don't have anything here. He moved a couple years ago
But he has
away,
an
but
Instagram page where we can see his
yeah,
artwork.
yeah, he used to be a customer,
Yeah.
but he does
You
some cool stuff.
There's a lot of cool people that seem to live in your general area. Steve Rude and um, Smokin' Joe, all these people that live not far from you. That's cool. What is the head on that?
He's like a pirate. He's like a ghost pirate, almost like a
Oh,
Scooby Doo.
oh
Maybe
yeah,
like
yeah, sure.
I should make him say something, like put a word balloon on him.
No, it's pretty great with the Phantom of the Opera pointing to the shirt. I mean, it's you don't need any words. It's very clear. Man, have you sold any in the store yet?
Yeah, I sold one today. Yeah, I sold one today.
And you say that maybe whatever size you normally get, maybe you should go up one size. Is
I think so. I think they're running a little small.
so I'm a 2XL, so I guess I'll need a 3XL, and I guess we'll need a 3XL and a 4XL for us if you know, throw that in my gigantic pile. Charlton says, "Nice T-shirt display. Looks great, Kevin." And he
I
says,
think.
"Hey, Kevin,
How you doing?
that is fantastic. I can't even imagine how amazing it must be just to walk into the store and be greeted by this." So, what's the new stuff that's out this week? Oh, there's a new Space Ghost. That's the cover I wanted. You,
You want one of these?
yeah, because you pulled a number one for me. I always go for the cartoony cover because it's a cartoon. So, yeah, did you pull another Mad for me? Mad number
Yeah,
one?
yeah, I did that.
You already done that. Okay. And so, yeah, Space Ghost. I don't know about the interior, but I'm just doing strict cover buys on that. I'm always skeptical with Dynamite. Um,
Yeah.
oh, Charlton's watching. Okay, I was just talking to you on the phone, and Charlton was showing on Instagram, and I guess in his video, I haven't watched it that far, Judge Dredd figure, and you say you've got a bunch of Judge Dredd figures, and you want to show those?
Yeah, I can show them to you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's James on the phone.
Who,
That's
who,
James.
who?
Right? Got 12 issues of Dude. All right, you guys want to see the Judge Dredd?
Yeah, sure.
Here's the interiors on this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's all right. I mean,
Oh, and they put a preview of Johnny Quest #1 in here too.
oh, well, that's neat. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look like a typical Dynamite comic. It looks better than that.
I think it's more telling of his origin in this one.
I enjoy. Charlton says I enjoyed when you compared the Marvel Tales Spider-Man to the original one. Great idea. It was cool. I have heard that some of those reprint comics delete, like if there's a whole page action scene, they'll delete it if it doesn't if they can get away with it, or they'll delete a few panels. But I didn't see it with the particular issue I chose last night. But I'm hoping that that's a myth. But I'm afraid it might be true. I just don't know what era they were altering the reprints. Uh, Missing Mars says, Gratu Charlton. Hi, guys.
All right, I'll go over here to the Judge Dredd. Maybe he already has all these because I know he was showing one.
He might. My problem is when I get these type figures and they have all the extras, I have to throw them in a shoebox because if you take the figure out, you're always afraid you're going to lose all the little extra hands and heads. And so that's actually,
This has a base. Maybe you can store them underneath it. I don't know.
oh, that's interesting. They ought to do, that's a good idea.
Store them under
Um,
the base. Yeah. Who's this? Judge Giant? Is that what it says?
yeah.
Here's Judge Anderson.
Yeah. Can you get a close up of her face? Okay. I I have a vinyl model kit that where they sculpted her face to look like Debbie Harry.
Here's another. Is this Anderson? Yeah. Hall of Heroes, Judge Anderson. She's in her little coffin.
Oh, oh, that's pretty wild.
That was the newest one I got. Who's this guy? Chief Judge. How do you say that? Cal or?
I guess Cal. Oh, for Caligula. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
It seems like this is where they stole the whole look of the Batman Who Laughs.
Oh, I never read that, but probably. Um,
You never seen the Batman Who Laughs?
I've seen it for sale, but I've never read the book.
Yeah, they tore. I think they stole it from
Yeah.
Dredd.
Missing Mars says, Kevin got a new challenge for you. Charlton 66, I have ordered a few more, the other Dark Judges specifically. Missing Mars says, nothing but Charlton, Gold Key, and Dell. That was Charlton said that was that crazy Judge Caligula. Yeah. Hmm.
Charlton, if you want any of these, I can do them like half price. $10 instead of 20. They've been sitting here for a while.
And that's Judge Dredd. You know,
Black,
they had this big
black
letter
and white.
writing campaign. People wanted a sequel to the Judge Dredd, the movie that came out, that last one, and it just, I've never heard anything more about it. That was really good. The one that took place all in one building.
Oh, is there one more? Is this? Did I show this one? Hold on.
I don't know. Let's see.
Or did I have two of this guy? I think I had two of them.
So it was one of the Judge Dredds, black and white.
Yeah, the last one I showed it. He's a black and white version.
Is that because the original comic books are black and white? That seems kind of odd, but I guess.
I have an old like UK newspaper magazine that had Judge Dredd in it.
Yeah.
Probably one of his first appearances, I think.
Charlton says, I think they stole the idea as well. Thanks, Kevin. I'll see what comes in for my order, I'll reach out to you.
Okay.
Was there anything else interesting that came out comic book wise today, or that you got?
No, I don't think anything really good. Space Ghost and Mad. Yeah, those were.
Okay, so they're still trying to sell Venom comics, or are people still buying that stuff?
No, people really stopped buying Venom, I think.
I wonder what killed that craze.
I think Ghost Rider sells better than Venom.
Oh yeah.
Get Fury 2 came out for people that got the first one.
How is? Oh, it's a Max comic, so it's probably super gory.
Yeah, very much.
It looks like there's an X-Men
Here's another one
facsimile.
of those. It's
Oh
another
no, it
one of those.
isn't. It's
It's a
is that a
Mickey ripoff.
facsimile with a Minnie Mouse? No, it's a What If.
No, it's not any of those things. I've been over this before. Don't get me
Oh, it's
started
a
on this
trick.
one. This is a trick bait and switch. It's not X-Men. It's not What If. It's not Mickey. None of those.
What is it? A Spider-Man comic?
Yeah, the only thing it is Marvel. That's the only thing. That's the only
That's
thing that's telling the truth on the cover.
so all that is that's just for idiots to slab comics that never open their comics. It's actually
It's
what?
Amazing Spider-Man number 51. That's all it is.
That is so stupid. Charlton 66 says, anyone seen the outstanding, well-made fan film of Judge Minty? It's on YouTube. Well worth watching. No, but I'll take a look at it.
I didn't know this. They're making a new Namor number 1. Look at him.
What's going on with him? Why does he what?
I don't know. I remember they cut off his head one time.
It just grew back. You know, fish always grow their heads back. Yeah, this whole industry is
This
so
artist
dead.
was cool. This artist passed away. He was cool. He was a Native American.
Oh, well, at least it's a different style. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he died in April. He was only 50.
Man.
Yeah, nobody talked about it. I'm glad they did that tribute for him.
Yeah. Boy, they just it's nothing but gigantic panels with about 4 or 5 words. Boy, I sure do prefer the 60s 9 panels to a page with tons of words. So they've got a series of Garbage Pail Kid wrestlers, huh?
Yeah.
Is this a new thing?
No, those are 3 or 4 years old.
All right.
All right,
Charlton
let's look
says, I
at.
can't believe that Archie has gotten on the facsimile bandwagon, and their first time out, they're putting out that cover with exactly. I heard about that. Well, I'm hoping that they'll do some facsimiles from the Bob Montana, Harry Lucy years from the 40s and 50s. But if they're just going to pander to the people that like kind of double meaning jokes,
If you get these
hopefully not.
paper towel, if you get these paper towel stands, they work as mask stands.
Oh, brilliant idea. It gives validation to that crap. Right. Well, Archie's been doing that for years. I don't I'm never was a fan of the Archie zombies or the any of that stuff. Just not oh, okay, so you don't have next week's books yet. When do those arrive?
I should have them maybe tomorrow or the next day.
Okay, so what came out today from DC? Anything?
Just that mad.
Oh, the Mad. Yeah, okay. Mad officially came out today or yesterday then.
Yeah,
What I'm
yesterday.
talking about is the facsimile of Mad number one. Do you want to say about what you were telling me about yesterday's sales or not?
I just want to thank your viewers for calling in and making some orders because yeah, I wouldn't have had any sales yesterday without you guys.
We in the Gratu Army were the only customers yesterday, so that's
Hmm.
fantastic. Great
And
Legend
Ricky's
Show says Sir Gratu, Kevin Stephen, also known as Charlton 66, one of the OGs, missing Mars too. Apollo's here. Hello, my peeps.
here's Ricky's
Apollo,
comic. Here's Ricky.
yeah,
That comes in. He made this blank sketchbook.
man, how
For,
much is that?
for $6, this outsold Marvel and DC combined yesterday.
You didn't sell any Marvel or DCs, but you sold that amazing book with nothing in it, which is better than
Yeah,
how many do you have of that?
I heard somebody talking about it yesterday. They said, "Well, DC has 80 years worth of material. They can just start." He said the same thing you did. They could just start over from number one and just reprint everything all over again for the next 80 years. Just
Yeah.
start over. And this guy goes, "Hey, don't say that. Don't give him any ideas."
Why? That's the most brilliant
Mhm.
idea possible. They can't produce anything good now. I mean, if they could, that would be fantastic, but they can't. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
nobody. They have like an event coming out, and I haven't had a single person like talk about it or want it in their pull list or anything.
what does everyone turn into a gorilla or fight Godzilla or something? What's
No, the Godzilla books sell.
are they good?
I couldn't tell you from reading one, but I could tell you from people that buy them. They said they're good. I don't know if they like the ending of that, how it played out.
I'd like to see John Goris fill out one of those Gotham City Comics sketchbooks.
Yeah, we can make, like you said, a sticker book out of maybe one of them.
Yeah.
This is a radio controlled Godzilla, and he blows smoke out too, like it has a like a vaporizer.
Oh, he blows moisture, so he
Yeah, he
won't
blows.
set off at your smoke detector.
Yeah, he blows vapor like one of those vaporizing cigarette things. He can make his tail whip, and he walks.
Do you have any toy that's a representation of Godzilla the way he appeared in the 60s or early 70s?
I don't have one in stock now. Oh,
See,
here's
that's,
I was gonna show you this. There's that whole series.
oh, wow.
It's a
Yeah,
hardcover. I was telling you, I gave away like a couple hundred of these things.
of the hardcover ones?
Yeah, because they were on sale. They were blowing them out for like it was something stupid like $2 or something.
Oh boy, what is that selling for now?
Well, I had Steve Root come to the store and do a signing, so I was giving them away to everybody that came in.
Oh, okay. Well, I would love a copy of that if that's not your only one.
It is my only one, but you can have it. It's been sitting here for 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, because I don't think I have the whole series, but that's brilliant. Whenever he does Marvel art, it's just fun. Whenever he does any art, but look at that.
Mhm.
It's everything Kirby did, but then he brings his style to it as well, and it merges so well and becomes a whole different thing. That's just look at that. It's everything you loved about the 60s, but brought to life. I don't even have the words to describe it.
Yeah, I wish you would come back into the store.
Yeah, yeah. Great Legend says stunning art. It's beautiful. Man, that's wild. Great Legend that you live where I used to live. I wish I'd known you before we moved, because now we're 11 hours away.
Oh, you're all good. Yeah, Kevin's got me running around trying to get everybody.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites of your new masks.
I have a topstone, another topstone coming in maybe tomorrow.
Cool. At
I got
some point soon, I should be getting from this there's a soundtrack company that produces soundtracks in limited numbers, and they have a 3 disc set of the soundtrack to the TV show Wonder Woman, and I ordered
How
that.
you
My
doing?
wife ordered it. um
Hang on
and
one second.
yeah, sure.
Your friend with him.
Oh yeah.
Great Legend says, damn dude, that would have been so cool. Yep, living in McKinney, Texas, but my dad is in Richardson, Texas. I love North Texas. I did too,
Oh,
but
okay.
we were
I put Mason, then
trying
she
to
goes,
get to a place that
come on.
Arlington was starting to get kind of bad.
She said that's
And
right. MP and that's the zip code. When I put it in, it tries flipping it to the other one. If it comes back again, I'll deliver it myself.
all of these 60s
I remember you
Marvel
talking about
superhero cartoons are on Internet Archive. You can record, I can show you how you can record them.
I didn't know that zip code was eight.
You just have to get a DVD-R, which they don't make anymore. They'll sell them in Japan, but not here. Or you could use an old VCR if you were so inclined. But you can record right from your Roku box. You just need to get, your Roku is going to have an HDMI output coming out from it. You get a little box that'll convert HDMI back to the old-fashioned RCA plugs with
Right on the border there.
red, white, and yellow. Yellow being the video feed. And then you plug that into the back of an old-fashioned DVD-R, which you could get old store stock from eBay,
And the old
and
one
then
is
record onto a DVD-R and
on the
get
other
all
one.
those great cartoons that are not released in the United States. And I guarantee you, with Disney owning all
What's from the last?
Marvel, they'll never release that stuff. They'll consider it too politically incorrect. You'll never see those Grand Tree Lawrence 66 Marvel superheroes cartoons on Disney Plus or anything else. What else are people talking about? As far as retirement place for you and your wife, Roanoke, Virginia is awesome. And dude, you got a hotel too.
Just trying to come and get it
Well,
itself. I told her
it's
already.
kind of like it wasn't Roanoke, it was Rural Retreat, Virginia. That's where we almost moved to a place that had been a hotel, but we didn't. Just be real quiet about. We didn't really move to Rural Retreat. That's all kayfabe. That's all performance. We're actually in a whole different part of the country. But we do live in a big place, and we do live across from a train station, like we would have if we had gone to Rural Retreat. But anyway.
From Carly Bucks Nuts.
Carly.
There's a box of shirts.
Oh, okay. I think what did we say? We need a 3X and a 4X. Is that what you gathered from what my wife said?
I don't remember what you guys said.
Well, we need 2X and 3X, but you said that we should upsize it. So that means we need a 3X and a 4X.
Okay.
Missing Mars, how much for the shirt, Kevin?
They're 25 shipped. You can get them on our website, or you can just send it to my PayPal since she already knows what it is.
Okay. My wife
and
says I'll go find you on Instagram, Great Legend. I'll tell you where we are. LOL.
Missing Mars wants us to put together a box, everything but Marvel DC. Is that what he said?
I think, yeah, let's flip back. I think he wants Gold Key. Where was it?
I think
Okay.
I can do it. It
Nothing
just
but
might take long.
Charlton, Gold Key, and Dell. I'm not sure how much Gold Key and Dell you've got left, but you've got a lot of Charlton War stuff. You know what's in your store better than me.
Well, I need to start going through boxes back here, and I'll be able to find some of that stuff. I have missing boxes back here.
Yeah, if you start finding a lot of those companies, let me know as well. Wow.
I think I should do that now. Wow. I don't really have anything else to show you guys.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want to see something else that you can think of, but I think you guys have seen everything. If I
Yes.
find some stuff, I can come back on
Oh, okay.
and I'll
All
listen.
right.
I'll listen to you guys. And there's that set that I was saving for myself, but brought you. You got dibs on it whenever you're ready.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be.
I'm thinking they're gonna make more because I think everybody under ordered on these.
Okay, so basically these he tried and they're out of stock.
Yeah,
So
I had
so
a
if
couple people want sets, and I couldn't get any more. I called them, and they don't have any more.
all right, so
So Captain Strangelove, he got one, Meyer got one, and you got one, and then if that was it, I only got 3 sets. There was 3
okay,
sets per case. There's 5 figures. We
right.
get 15 in a case.
Are they meant to be? They're not really meant to be sold as a set, but
I think most online retailers, I think they did sell them as a set.
so at this point, people should probably look on eBay uh, until you say, "Hey, I can get more."
Yeah,
Oh,
if you're willing to pay the extra money. But I
are they
honestly, these companies, when they see them selling for a lot of money, they make more.
okay? All right, so maybe just be patient on those. And there's a second wave coming.
I would. I'm gonna be patient, and if I don't get them, I'm just gonna get a second wave, and hopefully there's some cool characters. You were the one that told me there's Planet of the Apes in the second wave.
Yeah. So you're it sounds like you're pretty confident that they will reprint these because if you're giving up your set, so it's not anything for you guys to panic about.
I don't know. The company didn't really sound confident when I was talking to them. They were like, they don't even want me to call anymore. They're like getting their hours are like cut to like their East Coast. So I had to call by noon
Yeah.
here. Otherwise they would be already closed for the day.
That's weird. It almost sounds like it's a
So
part-time thing they're doing. It's not their only profession.
yeah, so I finally got him on I finally remembered to call by noon, got him on the phone, and I said, okay, I'm ready to do an order. And he goes, you have to go online to order. And I said, what do you mean? I've been doing this over the phone for like 13 years.
Mm.
And he said, well, we're going away from that. Our systems are actually going to be shutting down, and everything's going to online ordering.
Oh boy.
So I said, I don't really like that.
Yeah, it
I
takes
said,
away the personal touch and everything. It's
and I said, what about your job? Like, that's not good for you. You guys are going to lose your jobs. Hey, I'm gonna go ring some up. I'll come back on if I find something.
all right. Sounds great.
All right, I'll talk to you guys
All
later.
right. Take care. Bye. Oh, okay. Well, we're about to look at this cool 1964 November 64 magazine. November 64. So we're about a year after the Kennedy assassination, and things are already starting to get a little wilder, starting to see what's coming with the pop art explosion. There's an article by Gloria Vanderbilt. That's what's his face with the white hair on CNN. That's his mom. What is that guy's name again? Huh. Well, there's an article on underground movies. I think this magazine show had a Stan Lee interview. I could be wrong. I think they had an interview with Stan Lee and Kirby was there, and Kirby was kind of shy and didn't really speak up, so they just kind of wrote him off as it's this guy that talks a lot. He must be the real creator, and they just kind of did. And then that kind of stuck in Kirby's craw that he was kind of not mentioned as an important a person in the article, and it was just because his personality was not as dynamic and as Stan Lee. Just um, interesting. Got the animals. Mort Saul, Bob Newhart, Woody Allen, Dick Gregory up at the top. The new humor explosion. Why are the animals listed as part of the humor explosion? I don't think of the band The Animals as being. What do they mean by that? Call it black, sick, in, out, shocking, absurd. It's all of these and more. Okay, they're talking about, yeah, Jules Pfeiffer. They're talking about the kind of the movement of dark humor that, yeah, Nichols and May, Jonathan Winters. They're just talking about the new humor that kind of grew out of Lenny Bruce, Shelley Berman. My dad had two Shelley Berman records in his collection. But they're also showing Lichtenstein painting. So that was, what else is in here? Yeah, this is, when this magazine came out, my mother was pregnant with me. But you can see how the 60s were changing here in these months after the Kennedy assassination. What are people talking about here? Up, 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 up. Charlton Rules ordered. Okay, Missing Mars must have ordered a Gotham City Comics shirt. You need to get a hold of them and order those shirts because they are really cool. My wife says, "All right, great legend. I followed you and sent you a cryptic message." My wife says, "It looks like Lady Gaga." LOL. Maranya says, "Hey there, gang. I'm listening in while doing the dishes like a good 1950s housewife." Sounds good, Maranya. Missing Mars, Maranya, hello, friend. And then Maranya says, "It's actually very relaxing for me to do dishes." Hello, Eminem. Paulo Costa, Maranya, hi. Yeah, Alex Jones says the same thing. He says he really likes to do dishes. It calms him down. Of course, you don't want Alex Jones when he's angry to be doing dishes because they might all get smashed against the wall. Greta says dish therapy. Maranya says, "Hi there, Paulo." Maranya says, "Indeed, plus the accomplishment of getting the job done." Liechtenstein, Paulo, Patooey. Yes, I know. But the fact that Liechtenstein is in that magazine as being something cool is one of the things that led to the Batman TV show existing, which led to, the explosion of sales there for a little while in comics. And then a reaction to that with Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil. And so, it's all part of the progression, even though, yeah, he was a thief of other people's art and all that. Yes, we know that. The Great Legend Show. Greta, hey, Maranya, how are you? This is the Great Legend Show. Yeah, she's a lot better than she was a few days ago. I mean, there, at least it's nice to just be able to wash dishes and not have that worry. Whew. Okay. Well, we're just looking at. Here's February 1950 issue of Esquire. How about that? Esquire was a magazine aimed at men, but it, selling lots of liquor ads. It it is an ancestor of what Hugh Hefner would later do, except it's more family friendly. Could you say that? Maybe you could just kind of tell that this is where Hugh Hefner's magazine came from, but this is more PG-13 as opposed to R-rated. Or here's an art. So we're in 1950, right? And here's a nostalgic article. Grandfather liked them gory, and it's a nostalgic article. The old dime novels must have had something, but a quick review suggests they were merely the first blood banks. So they're talking like today, you know, in people, well, in the 60s, people were nostalgic for the pulp magazines of the 30s. Well, in 1950, they're nostalgic for the dime novels from, what would they be from, about 1910, 1915? Um, like Wild West Weekly. Look at that. It's cool. You know, I want to really make this channel more, not to sound egg-headed, but more of a sociology lesson, about, all these comic books, but think about what impact they had on society and what, um, and how society is reflected in them. That's fascinating to me. I look at comics as part of that time period, which is why I like comics from a certain time period that I like, and which is why comics from the 1990s, I don't really have any interest in them, even though they might have my favorite old characters in them. Spider-Man to me belongs in the 60s, maybe early 70s, but um, oh wow. Look at these pictures of these mid-century office furniture. which today would go for big bucks at yeah, those boutiques downtown, you know. Oh my gosh, what was going on with that guy's head there? Who was that? I was admiring the veins on the side of his head. That's just like, holy smoke, man. Uh, F. Scott Fitzgerald, and he was the author of The Great Gatsby. Writes of haunted people trying to regain the past when suddenly the soft old dream becomes a nightmare. Editor's note. That's yeah. Fitzgerald died in 1941, so this is not him writing currently. Oh man, Kevin, if you're still watching or near the screen, look at that. There's a Frankenstein mask ad. I can get a. You don't need to do a screenshot of this. I'll photograph this and put it on Instagram for you. It says Frankenstein mask. It's eerie. Oh, now I need my reading glasses. Wait a second. So I'm sitting on a stool that opens, and I used to have reading glasses inside it. Watch them all be gone. Yeah. No, they're not there. How about that? Bunch of photographs from the 1970s are in there from Fort Worth, but okay, now I got to find that ad again. I'll do my best. A greenish, lifelike, terrifying likeness of the famous monster. Lots of fun at parties, the office, anytime. Made of sanitary rubber. Is that what it says? Made of sanitary rubber. The Frankenstein mask fits over entire head and can be rolled and carried in pocket. $2.98. Postpaid from Magic Center, the world's largest magic shop, 741 8th Avenue. Okay, and this is from 1950, so that well predates the famous monsters coming out in 57 and the shock theater package. But you know, 1950 Frankenstein monster, and those Frankenstein movies were really big all through the 30s and into the 40s. It's just cool to see a Frankenstein mask. Look at that, gaze in glory and wonder at that. South Sea Island Sirens. Yeah, these are. This is for some bachelor to put on his bookshelf. Kind of. I don't think most wives would approve of that. Let's see. Here's the 1950 Harley Davidson. Oh, maybe if anybody wants to come on, I'm not going to be on like a real long time. I really wanted to come on just to see what the new comic books look like today and to let you guys know about the Gotham City Comics t-shirts and to thank you guys, not just for helping Maranya last week, which I think everyone, all these different great channels did great work trying, while succeeding in keeping Maranya and her husband from being evicted. That was fantastic. But also, people that watch this channel helped Kevin. Gave him his only sales yesterday. That's great. People calling up. It's fantastic. So congratulations for that. What am I doing, man? Fantastic. You can also get the. Am I even still on? Okay, post comment. Oh, I'm trying to put the link in. That's what I'm doing. I got distracted. Paste. Done. Chat. Okay, there's the link to come on. My wife says you rule Grut too. What else are people saying here? Oh, people are talking about all kinds of stuff here. What is going on? Oh, there's so much to read. What is going on? Oh man, you guys are really making me read. Okay, hey Maranya, how are you? Amen. She is a lot better. Great Legends referring to Maranya not having to worry now for a while, but hopefully not ever again. She is better. We all made it happen. Job well done, team, says Missing Mars. Rania says, yes, lots better with a roof over our heads thanks to the wonderful family we've created in this neighborhood. She's learned not to say community on this show. I'm just a curmudgeon. Gotham City Comics. I got the $25. What size shirt do you need me to send? Large, please, Kevin. Oh, see, Missing Mars isn't a fat man like we are. He's he's able to wear a shirt normally. Gotham City Comics. I recommend XL, then because they run a little smaller. Our oldest great legend. Our oldest son has this red robe, looks like a pipe smoker's robe or something. When he wears it, me and my wife call him Hef after Hefner. LOL. Rania says recent splurge snack for me is red pepper hummus and saltine crackers. I never thought I'd like hummus, but I love shit. But I love I hit the wrong button. But but I love the red pepper variety. Yeah, I didn't ever try hummus till Cleo or Greta, as she's called here in the chat. Now I love it, but we haven't had it in a while, actually. I want to show off my awesomeness, says Missing Mars, but I'll concede to an XL. They are nice too. Maranya said, again, you're probably going to get fatter once you get a little older, so this shirt will be ready for you. Maranya says, even weirder is I normally don't like any form of bell peppers, but roasted and in hummus, I'm good. Greta Orloff says, when I met Gratu, he had a picture on Facebook with some silly robe, and I was afraid he was a Hef type. LOL. Missing Mars says, legend, and then there's a smiling, laughing face. Love it, says Great Legend. Gotham City Comics, yeah, and just put it in the dryer if you want it to shrink a bit. Or just start eating at Taco Bell and get a little fatter till it fits snugly. That's what I'd recommend. Maranya says, Eminem, I wish I could wear an XL t-shirt. Sadly, because of my other blessings, I have to wear at minimum a 3X to give them room. 4X is my optimum size. I think 5X is the ultimate that he's gotten. So I don't know what Dolly Parton would wear that would be so cool. He he needs to do some Photoshop and put one of his Gotham City shirts on a picture of a young Dolly Parton, from like 1968 or something. Greta says there are lots of good hummus flavors, but I love the regular ones at the real Mediterranean restaurants, which there are not around here, but maybe an hour away there probably are. Greta says also some brands of hummus suck. Maranya says the store brand at BJ's, which helps a lot when getting certain items, is quite good. My wife says silk robe. I meant not silly. It actually looked cool. Dang, autocorrect. Okay, back to the dishes. I'm listening. Says Maranya. My wife says, okay, enjoy the dish soap, perfume, and bubbles. You roll gratu. There's the link to come on, which no one's doing. My wife says you're definitely a curmudgeon, but you are our curmudgeon. Maranya, she says it'll be even better with pita chips. Boy, she's saying a lot of stuff. Then she says, I'm the same size, Maranya, but sometimes 4X is a little big or very big, depending on. Missing Mars says, you can make your own hummus. I don't know how to do that, but I'm missing Mars knows how. This is the coat to get so you can be Dick Tracy. Alligator, the coat you'll live in. See, yeah, this is back when people read, because in 1950, very few people had televisions, and the people that had televisions, the screens were round and about this big. This is later in the 50s when people had TVs like that, but that's I should try making it because I bought a Vitamix. How about that? Now, there were yeah, see, it's the same kind of cartoons that Hefner would have later. It just, and I, maybe it was in the 40s when Vargas did, no, there it is. Vargas did the Esquire girl, and this is the beginnings of what Hugh Hefner would later do, and she's depicted on the cover too. So, um, that would later, and then Vargas later would work for Playboy, except he would. And then the origins of the Playboy Bunny were this little guy. He was on all the covers. And so this is where the whole idea for Playboy came from. It just, he made it more extreme. Boy, I hated that word extreme. Remember they used to, was that the 80s or the 90s when everything was extreme? I don't know. Here's the King Kong Gold Key. And this is a Treasury edition from Whitman. This was this was done in the 60s, but this is a reissue when that 1976 King Kong movie came out. Here's part of the publicity wave for the big movie. The Christmas of '65 was Thunderball, which would have been the fourth James Bond movie. Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, and then Thunderball was the big giant budget movie that came out at the end of 1965. You can see this is the January 7th, '66 issue. What is that? Looks like one of the green dancing Orion women from Star Trek. This is an article on Rome. Apparently, that's where the women dance like that. This is all about Little Lebanon brings Las Vegas and the Riviera into old Araby. With the swimming pool that you could have swum in and swam in. Oh, look at this Dodge Charger double page ad, man. Look at this. How about that? Yes, indeed. And this is when, look how TVs have evolved. And they've evolved up to all the way to 21 inches. I think that was the size that I grew up with. Was it a 21 inch or was it a 27 inch? We had a Zenith console color TV from 1969. It was like the biggest size I think you could get then, unless you were like someone like Frank Sinatra. New advance in home treatments for hemorrhoids. Yeah, Life magazine is. You can get these pretty cheap. How about that? So bad for Oreo. Oh, packaging for Oreo. Oh, what else is in this box? Okay, 1961 Saturday Evening Post. It's not a Norman Rockwell cover, but it certainly does depict Americana. I hate, look how they slapped this subscription label on there. But they're watching the kids in that station wagon are watching the couple behind them instead of the movie. So it's not a pristine copy. It's got a big tear in the back. It was just see this, you know, there are people that want to tear our society down, and they want to make everything ugly. Architecture, music. They they get mad when they hear Donald Trump say "Make America Great Again," and they say, "Well, America was never great," or "What does he want to bring back slavery?" No, of course that's not what he's talking about. He wants to bring back this. People say, I've talked to old liberals that say the 1950s weren't that great. And actually, my father was not a liberal, but he said, well, because he knew I was really into the 1950s and the culture and everything. And he said, I didn't have a lot of fun in the 1950s. Yeah, of course not, because the day you graduated college, you were drafted into the Korean War, and then you had two kids, and you were working hard, rising up in the military. You were a workaholic. You weren't like dancing to the jukebox. He was already, in his an adult, so he didn't listen to Elvis Presley. He was in high school during World War II, or junior high school during when he missed World War II. So it's just all a matter of perspective, and. But oh well, man. How about that? How about that? I need some more books in here. Okay. How about that? How about that, please? You already ate, didn't you, Drew? Did we feed you? Did we feed her? I think we didn't feed her. I think we were gonna. It's time for her to eat now. What are people talking about here, man? Food, probably. Oh, yeah. It's all food related here. Oh, my gosh. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, my gosh. Missing Mars says, you can make your own hummus. And my wife says, I should try making it because I bought a Vitamix. And Rania says, I looked into hummus recipes, but the ingredients other than chickpeas are crazy expensive. And Missing Mars says, great recipes online, Mrs. O. And then Missing Mars says, keep looking, you can substitute pricey for generic. Paulo Costa says, you need olive oil to make hummus, and that sure is crazy expensive, even in countries where we grow olives. Maranya says, olive oil and the tahini paste. Paulo says, olive oil is 5 times more expensive than it was 18 months ago. Maranya says, Paulo, you can maybe back me up on this, but the Whitman brand on comic books denoted books not sold on newsstands, but in stores like Woolworths, etc. That is correct. Missing Mars, Christmas tree shop for olive oil. Paulo Costa says, can't you make tahini by grinding sesame seeds at home? Missing Mars, Apollo, correct on the sesame seed thingy. Maranya says, my educated guess on that is the labor involved in paying the people properly to harvest and make the oil. Holocaust said, no, it was the 2 years of drought. We lost 60% of olive production from 2022 to 2023. Maranya says, I also don't have all the gadgets like a grinder. Someday I will, and I'll let you all know about making my own hummus from scratch. Missing Mars says, Maranya, Christmas list item? Maranya says, ouch, that'll do it, Paulo. Me, I love to stack on black olives and wondered why they were super expensive. I already got Christmas in June, Eminem. Missing Mars says, Ocean State job. Ocean State job lot for black olives. Canned. My wife said, we don't feed, God damn it, we don't feed her because it was too early. She's starting to wreak havoc, so I'm going to have to feed her. Keister, 1985, Deep Ellum. Fort Worth, or perhaps it's F the World. I don't know what they're saying. Keister. Comic Mag Musings. Hello, gang. Great Legend Show says, hey, Comic Mag Musings and Keister. Tahini, tahini, says my wife. And Comic Mag Musings says, hey, the Great Legend Show. Yes, Gold Key Comics. If you see a Whitman label on it, it's still a first pressing. Gold Key Comics were sold in little bags, 3-packs. One comic facing this way, one this way, and there was one in between. And they changed the Gold Key logo to Whitman. They're still first pressings, and you get 3 comics for like 79 cents or whatever, something. You get them for cheaper. And they'd be sold in, I remember them being in the PX or sometimes places that comics weren't sold, like toy stores, drugs, whatever. So that's what those are. The Overstreet Price Guide back late 70s, early 80s said that Whitmans were reprints and were worthless, and they were wrong. It later turned out they were not reprints. They were part of the first pressing, and then the prices on Whitmans went up, partly because Overstreet said they were worthless, and a lot of people tossed them whenever they saw Whitman, and then therefore there were not as many. So anyway, what are people saying here, man? Hey, the Great Legend Show says Comic Mag Musings. Great Legend Show says for the win, but F the World is better. I was thinking Fort Worth and F the World. I didn't know for the win. Keister for the win. I didn't even know that was these there's too many different meanings for one acronym. Hey there, CMM and Keister. Keister says, I'm doing patron silver shots in a bar and listening to the outfield play deep. Comic Mag Musing says, hi, Maranya. And the Great Legend Show says, Keister, how about those Von Erich boys? Yeah, I remember those Von Erich. That was a real tragedy. They just seemed to, every couple of months, another one of Fritz Von Erich's sons died. Dallas Fort Worth, Channel 11, they had wrestling on, and there was a evil German Nazi wrestler named Fritz von Erich. I think he had the claw where he'd crush your face, and he had a bunch of sons that were all like rock star idols. When they would come out, they all became wrestlers, and they come out into the ring with their flowing 1970s hair, and it was like Sean Cassidy had beefed up, and they just kept dying until all of them were dead. It was weird things like toxic shock syndrome, or did one of them kill? I don't really remember. Most of you watching are probably big wrestling fans, and you know better than me. I just remember being in junior high school, and it's like, oh, another Von Erich passed away. Okay, around Dallas, late 1980s. My wife says, wish you could pass me a shot. LOL. The Great Legend Show says they made a good movie called Iron Claw, very good. They made a movie about Fritz von Erich? Really? I didn't know that. Paulo Costa says, Bill, what the hell? It disappeared. Bill, are you done stealing all those jungle comics out from under Jambo? I don't know. What's the story on that? I don't know. The YouTube channel Sanguine Penguin. My wife got to see them at the old Sportatorium. Sportatorium, yeah. You'll love it. The Von Erichs just watched the movie 2 weeks ago. What about Eric the Rad? Eric the Red. I drawing a blank on that. As an example of savings at BJ's for me, normally 24 ounce of Dawn Platinum dish soap is like $4 at the store. I could get 90 ounces of the Platinum at BJ's for $10 after a $2 coupon. Well, that's fascinating. That 90-ounce bottle lasted me for 6 months. I was about to make an important point. Toxic shock syndrome is from tampons for the ladies. I know, but one of the Von Erichs, I swear, died of that. And I swear that I remember Jim Henson dying of that. But someone told me the other day that it wasn't that. It was something else that killed Jim Henson. I don't know. I guess men can get it too. I don't know. Do they get it from their wives? I don't know. It's a little bit not a topic. It's not a very delicate topic to be talking about at dinner time here on a family program. Toxic shock syndrome is from, okay, we already read that. The Sportatorium. That's what I wanted to talk about. In Dallas. Yeah, it was known as the place where wrestling was, they had wrestling. I went there to see a wrestling performance once at the Sportatorium. But as I recall, right next to the Sportatorium was this country western uh, place where bands played, and the Sex Pistols played there. It was called the Longhorn Ballroom, and with the Nerve Breakers opening for them. My friend was there. I was like in seventh grade, so I wasn't going to Dallas 20 miles away. I wouldn't have been able to be let into there. But it was all part of the magnificent joke of their whole tour, to let's book them into a country western bar. It was just, like the Blues Brothers, being in that country western bar where they have the chicken. It wasn't like that, but it's the same basic idea. What'll happen when they appear in a country. But remember, they had the chicken wires because everyone would throw full beer bottles at the band, and it would keep the glass from getting to them. Okay. Jim Henson died from a bacterial infection. I don't know. Is that what toxic shock syndrome staph? I think. Yeah, probably. I don't know why I think that. Jim Henson passed from bacterial pneumonia. I think this is the discussion we had the other day, but I believe you. I know one of the Von Erichs died from that because what I'm saying, because it was a big deal. I remember reading about it, but not that the media tells the truth. My wife says there are different ways to get toxic shock syndrome. I do believe. I don't think that the Von Erichs were using tampons because they were men. But anyway, the Sportatorium in the 1950s. Let's see. MRSA, says Maranya, is not an uncommon cause of death, especially with the overuse of antibiotics to treat colds and so forth. Yeah, there's no telling what was ingested by wrestlers in the 1970s. Not to cast aspersions on them. I'm definitely avoiding antibiotics. Anyway, the Sportatorium in the 50s used to have have big rockabilly shows. I think Elvis played there once, but I know that Gene Vincent played there a lot. Now, I don't know what you guys know about music, but Gene Vincent was an insane performer. You know him from Bebop, Alula, and some famous songs. He wasn't as big as Elvis, but he should have been. And over in England, he was worshipped, and then even up until the 1970s, he was still performing in England. They loved him, and he was nuts. and he was crazed. He was this ex-Navy guy. He had a horrible leg injury, so one leg was kept stiff. He was in constant pain, but one leg was stiff, so he'd have to, when he he'd move down on one leg and keep one leg stiff, and it was just a cool look that rockabilly people still try to imitate that stance, but it was really just because he couldn't move the leg. But Gene Vincent, wild, and the people you see in these 50s TV shows and cartoons and musicals, the Danny Zuckos and the Arthur Fonzarellis and the guys in West Side Story. Well, in real life, those guys were out of their minds. They weren't just guys that banged on jukeboxes, got working, and went, hey, they were. They were crazy, and they all had knives, and they were slashing the seats and ripping seats up while Gene Vincent's performing and all of that. And I've talked to, guys that performed there and people that were the teenagers slashing up the seats. But my friend Randy was friends with um, um, Ronnie Dawson, the blonde bomber. I'd go over to Randy's house, and there'd be Ronnie Dawson playing guitar. He had this amazing blonde uh, crew cut, and he's the guy that did the great song "Rockin' Bones." Or well, he wasn't the only one, but did a great version of it. And then the Cramps later did a cover version of that. Great. Anyone that ever sang "Rockin' Bones," it was a great song. Look that up. Rockin' Bones, Ronnie Dawson. You can listen to all this stuff on YouTube. But anyway, yeah. And then one time I went there and Ronnie Dawson was there and Gene Rambo was there. It was another rockabilly guy from Dallas, and he was there with his wife. And Ronnie Dawson was trying to get him to, hey, come on, let's perform with me. They were all in the living room of Randy's magnificent house, which was decked out with 1950s wagon wheel furniture. It looked like you were right there in 1957. And here are these two guys that were local legends. Ronnie Dawson made it kind of bigger than just a local legend, though. And he's like, come on. And he finally got, I think it was just like a movie. He finally got him to get up and kind of sing with him. But these were guys that were at the Sportatorium at the Big D Jamboree. People like Patsy Cline played there. So I'm sure they've torn down the Sportatorium. I don't know. Great legend. Have they? They shouldn't have if they had, but I would assume that's how things work. They tear down everything great that should be, a landmark. Great legend. So Elvis, that's right. Merle Haggard too. There's a video of Fritz talking about it. Okay, cool. Love your history, Gratu. Keister, is that your birth name? is that is that your actual birth name? I think I'll name my son Keister. I spent a lot of my youth in Deep Ellum, and I feel like you and Orloff went there too. Am I correct? I assume Keister's talking to Great Legend. Yes, I went to Deep Ellum. Um, yes. And then I stopped going to Deep Ellum. The Great Legend Show. Please like this video. Hey, yeah, man. Let's see if I can get these effects to start. Come on, effects. I was taught that you can do things, you can make things appear, and it's not working now. I know that I can do it. Doctor Strange. I got to tuck my thumbs in. Look at that. How about that? And I can't remember. How do I do I can make it rain. I think I can create confetti. Oh, there's a way. Oh, yeah. Look at that. I can make my head explode like in Scanners. um, my wife says, thanks for the reminder, Great Legend. Just gave it a like. LOL. Hallelujah. LOL. Yes. Hey, Grot, says Bronco Bear. Cool. I haven't seen Bronco in a while. The Great Legend Show. Ha ha. Then Keister says, I know there are way less than 6 degrees of separation between us. Yeah, Keister, for all I know you. And then there's also the Centaur, but I only see the Centaur if I go on early Saturday morning. That's whenever I go on early Saturday morning, the Centaur appears. He's also someone from back in the old country, North Texas. And that's because I did a video where I reminisced about the Forum 303 Mall and my memories of it. And it turns out that's about the only thing you can find on YouTube about the Forum Mall. So anytime someone goes on YouTube and types in Forum 303 Mall, Arlington, Texas, they get my show. And that's how the Centaur found me. The Great Legends show says they tore it down. Of course, I didn't even question that. God, I miss my people. How are you? Bronco, says Paulo. Hey, Paulo, did you create a slideshow for tomorrow night's Dum Dum celebration? Greta, if you want to come on and present the show, if you've already created it that you meant for tomorrow, you could show it now, and then you could create another one for tomorrow. I don't know how busy you are. You could do 2 shows in 1 week. Maranya says, Keister reminds me of Archie Bunker. He used to say all the time, get off your keister. Yeah, I assume that that's a fake name, that keister means your rear end. And I was just thinking, well, what if that really is his name? I'm just being an a-hole here. Sorry if that is your real name. I wasn't meaning to be, I was just funning you. Maranya says, hey there, Bronco Bear. Hey, Polo, says Bronco Bear. Tudo Berm? Tudo Berm. ¿Cómo está usted? Muy bueno. Buenas noches. De puto del taco, de pinga. The Great Legends show says they tried to save it, but couldn't. We'll send you a link, please, to a documentary, which is an older one, but has the final filming of the Sportatorium. Kevin Von Erich is still alive. He tours it. That would be great. I thought, oh, is he the only surviving? I thought they all died. I don't know. I don't know much about wrestling. Bronco says, hey, Maranya, hope you're well. Yeah, I'd love to see. I don't mean to joke about people dying. I'm sorry. I want to see that. And I want to see, you said there was something called the Iron Claw. I'd love to see that too. Maranya says, doing very well. Thanks for asking. The Centaur is my favorite stranger. This is the 1 week anniversary, right about this exact moment. I think exactly 1 week ago, the comic book frog, maybe it was a little bit earlier, the comic book frog contacted me and said Maranya was in trouble. Maranya then appeared on the show, and we found out she was at risk of being evicted on Monday. And so it seems like we started trying to raise money, and someone donated $500. I still don't know who did that. It was $400 or $500 during this show, and then but and then at 7 we cut the cord so that and then everyone went over to Graphic Man's show, and but he wasn't doing a live show. But after he was doing a cam show, after it he went live and I think talked to Maranya for over an hour and raised some more money. So that was on Wednesday of last week. And then Thursday, the Dum Dum celebration, we tried to raise money, but I think we raised only about 100, maybe a little less than 100. But then someone kicked in some money right after the show went off. And I think that brought Maranya up to 2,000 of the 4,000 she needed. Friday, I wish I had tried to raise money on Friday for Maranya, but we went to see a terrible Planet of the Apes movie. But it was still getting out, and having fun in the theater with my wife. And then Saturday, I did an all day, no, Comic Book Memories did a show. Captain Strangelove auctioned off some amazing Silver Age, some amazing Spider-Man comics, and some other stuff. And I think they must have raised $500-600, maybe more. And then as soon as they went off, I did a telethon. Altogether, I think I went 20 hours or more raising money. I think we did pretty good on Saturday. Yeah, we did, because we got to the 4,000 mark right about 5 o'clock in the evening. So then Sunday was just building later Saturday night, and Sunday, I Love Comics did a live stream. That was just building up a cushion, I think, of 1,100, maybe a little more than $1,100 over the 4,000, so that she'll have an emergency fund. So she won't. Although I would really encourage you, once a landlord is shows, I would try to find a different place to live, because there's something creepy about that situation. I just would never fully feel confident with that landlord over my life. But oh, the great legend has requested to follow me on Instagram. Oh, I must have my Instagram private. I guess I need to open that back up or something. I don't know. Okay, y'all. As soon as I get off this, I'll approve the request. Um, but anyway, so she was trying to raise 4,000, and she raised, I think, over $5,100, and with the help of a whole bunch. Oh, I completely forgot. While I was on Saturday, Cheap Comic Collector. I just keep wanting to say cheapskate. I'm sorry. Cheap Comic Collector did it. I haven't watched it yet, but he did I think they call it a claim sale. He showed a bunch of comics and sold them and sent all the money to Maranya. Oh, and on my show on Saturday, the Apex Comics came on and was going to auction off some artwork, or not, or sell some art. I don't know exactly. And then Strange Life came on my show too, and basically donated Silver Age Spider-Man comics. I mean, he didn't sell them. He People paid for the comics by sending money to Maranya. So basically, he was donating them. Plus, I guess, the postage. So that was a very magnanimous thing to do. Is that the right word, magnanimous? I think so. I don't. That's maybe the fourth time in my life, or maybe the first time I've ever used that word out loud. Let's see. God, I missed my people, says Keister, who's from another planet that is long dead. Bronco says, how are you? Bronco, says Paulo. My wife has pictures of 3 teddy bears. I don't know what that is. Then she says, good. I already read all these comments. Well, let's see, man, what's going on? The centaur is my favorite stranger. Missing Mars centaur. Let's channel him. No, I think he's only available on Saturday mornings. I think he's a very busy man. I think he's a secret agent. My wife Greta says, pain in the keister. Paula says, I have a new idea. I have some time tomorrow to create the slideshow. It can be as long, if you want to do a 20-minute slideshow, you want to do the the most epic of all time slideshow, Paulo and Cinsurround and 70 millimeter, that's fine. The comic book frog is a hero. Yeah, he really is the guy, because he's the one that went around and spread the word, and the master manipulator behind everything. Oh, and then he's the one that did the or started the I Love Comics stream, which I think went for 10 hours, and they raised some money on Sunday night on that as well. And all of it was also, not only was it raising money, but it was also providing a wonderful distraction for Maranya, I think. So her mind wasn't totally focused on that. She was able to talk to friends. She was able to do comic book readings on that thing on Sunday night on I Love Comics. I shouldn't call it that thing, but I went on there briefly, but I was like overwhelmed. There were like 20 people around me that were talking, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to say anything, and I don't even know about what they're talking about. And then my Wi-Fi went out, so it became a moot point. Maranya says, everyone who helped me, either by donating, sharing the link, giving me a platform to speak, and praying. Yeah, we definitely prayed before we went on Saturday. I don't know if I prayed on the air. I don't know. When I was doing the general shtick, I don't know what I said. I kind of get into this. I start channeling uh, this insane general. Maranya says, Triple C Oh, that's good to call him Triple C because that's so much easier to remember. Triple C did a claim auction and I got the proceeds. That's what I was saying. Yeah, he raised, what did he raise? 500-600 bucks or something? Good. He did great. He was on at the same time as me, but that's okay. You can't avoid that. That's fantastic. Oh, what the hell time is it? 5:47. We got an hour until Jambo, Bub's Comics. I think I know who Bub's Comics is. I think he's a friend of Jambo. I think I've met Bub's Comics on the old Four Color Fossils show back in the old days. I need to. I think maybe Bub's Comics has been on this show. Has he? I don't know. But apparently they're going to be showing science fiction, flying saucer, rocket ship, Martian kind of covers. So that's right up my alley. Family First Maranya. What? I don't know. This whole family thing. I like neighborhood. I don't like community. Family, yeah, it's a family, but it sounds a little creepy, like Charles Manson or the guys in the Omega Man. Didn't they call themselves the family too? Am I wrong? Neighborhood is the one that sounds the most wholesome, and it reeks of Americana. Community sounds like commie, pinko, socialism. Family, unfortunately, sounds like Charles Manson. But it's a good, I don't know, man. The What's the best? I don't know where community came from. I think I heard a guy the other day talking about how he he was one of the first people after Captain Strange Life to come on and do comic book commentary on YouTube. And he said he was talking about how they invented all the terminology and all the words that are used now. And I'm not sure what words those are. Maybe community is one of. I think that might be the case. Um, it used to be fandom. What did we call it in the '70s? The fandom, wasn't it? I don't know. I'm not going to learn new terminology. Yeah, I I I've been collecting comics since 1969, and I'm going to use the terminology that was around when I was in elementary school, when I was learning from the old comic collectors. I'm not going to pick up new stuff like I've got the whole run, or this is a key issue. I will not use any of these terms. Uh, just because I want it to still be 1975. Oh my gosh. What are people talking about? Uh, Triple C did a claim auction. Howler Mouse. We are a little creepy, Gratu. Howler Mouse did the word Holy Grail for a comic. Okay. I remember fandom in the mid 70s. All right. Well, uh, okay. What is this? Oh, these are my later Marvel tales. Problem is, I have DC War comic books on this side, and I've got Marvel tales on this side. So I put the lid on the wrong way. No, 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 no. Guess they. Yeah, I thought people used the word Grail. I thought I was the one that started using Holy Grail, just to make fun of people that say Grail. Um, because when you put Holy Grail, it adds an element of it just sounds wrong to say this comic is like the chalice that Christ drank from before he was crucified. Uh, it adds a whole element of wrongness to it. Okay, I don't care. Oh, I got this list in my pocket of key issue. Who's responsible for key issue? I need to find out who that is. FOMO, fear of missing out. That's one of the most despicable terms. Pull the trigger. I don't like that. I've got Grail here. I don't like that. I like Holy Grail. Presents well. Ooh, I no offense if you use these terms. That's okay. It's just they annoy me. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. You might smoke cigarettes. I don't like breathing in cigarette smoke. That's okay. My parents smoked. I love them. And you might say presents well, and I love you. Comic book community, I've got it written down here, is something I don't like. Mega Grail, I've got that. Ooh, that's even worse. I've got existential threat to our democracy. That's not from the comic book community. That's just something that we hear a lot. Paradigm shift, raw comics. Oh, that's the worst. That's implying that comics that aren't slabbed are in an improper state. They're raw, like raw meat. No, it needs to be cooked. If you have a raw comic, there's something wrong with it. Yeah. I've got paradigm shift. I hate people that use the term paradigm shift, in whatever context it's used. Content, that doesn't apply just to comic book. It's like, I create content for YouTube. No, you create a show, create a television program. Content. That's a rabbit hole. I hate that term. Run fillers. Ooh, man, I hate that. In other words, well, I had to get Hulk 179 and Hulk 182 to fill my run, but they're not key issues. Ugh, I hate having run fillers, but I guess I have to do it. What are those people talking about here, man? Talking about chocolate chip cookies. What is going on? I invented the term mint chocolate chip condition in 4th grade. Yes, I was aware of that. Great Legend Show. Hans taught me about Mylar back in the day. Mylar, well, I remember when Mylar came out, man, I think that was the late 70s. Was it the very early 80s? I started getting packs of my lights at Lone Star Comics, and I was trying to convert all my comics, at least the nicer ones, to my light. That was a while back, yeah. I like the word fan base, says John Goris. Fan base. I've heard fan base. Yeah, that's okay. Paulo, I'm trying to teach French comic. God, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, it's a bad word. I'm trying to teach French comic related words to all of you and failing miserably. Why would we want to know French? We speak English here. Give us an example of a French word you want us to learn. The first time, Maranya says, first time I heard Holy Grail was when I saw the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah. And I'm sure that's whoever created the term Holy Grail or Grail for comic books was referencing that movie, because that was a fantastic movie, but there were a lot of nerds that I knew that when they saw Monty Python and the Holy Grail, they just started speaking only in dialogue from that movie. It's just, you try to talk with them and they would the only way they could reply to you in conversation are different lines from that movie, um, or from Saturday Night Live, or it's like they had no personality of their own. They saw, oh, this is funny. I'll just memorize every word from that movie and I'll just say it and then I'll be funny too. But no, because you're not John Cleese and you didn't invent that stuff. But that's what people do. They watch a funny movie and Bill Murray or someone says something funny on the screen and they see everyone's laughing and they'll say that line on the screen and then they'll repeat it back exactly. And you see that in theaters, they'll repeat back, they're not laughing, they repeat back the words like, I've got to memorize this and then I'll be popular and people will laugh at me. That's what I've noticed. FOMO is evil. Yeah, I don't like acronyms in general. Great Legend Show, watch out for CERN, they are bad. Yes, we know all about CERN. Bronco Bear says, Paulo, do people really say autocarro for bus for autocarro autocarro for bus where you're at? Yes, we do. Let's stop making fun of people's cultures, man. Meyer says, I appreciate a woman with a wide fan base. Freedom fries. Hmm. Yeah, I remember that. I forgot why we were mad with the French. It was something having to do with the Gulf War or something. They didn't do something correctly and everyone got mad and those darn French, we're not going to call French fries French fries. I don't no one remembers why we were mad at the French. Yeah. Okay, Paulo album. French comics aren't graphic novels, they're albums like in music. Okay, that's fine. I hate the term graphic novel with a passion. I hate all of that. I hate all of that, man. And I love Will Eisner. What was it he came up with? Sequential art. That's a little pretentious too. Um, yeah, whenever someone uses graphic novel, oh, you mean a comic book? Yeah. One of my wife's all-time favorites is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. She loves it. Yeah, it's an unbelievably great movie. I do like Chud though. John Gores. Yes, that's an acronym I approve of. What else do I hate? Run filler. Iconic. I can't use that word. Trope. Oh. And PC, that was already taken by personal computer, but now people want to say personal collection. Here's what we need to do. I was not a member of Comicsgate. I was not an original YouTube person that founded everything, although some of these original people that started and founded everything, I was buying comics before they were, so I'm cooler. But I just don't like watching people brag about, oh, we started everything. Captain Strangelove started everything. But anyway, I digress. Um, I just stop bragging, man. They're wonderful people. I love listening to them talk, but who cares, man? Who cares who started first? Um, what was I saying? What was it? PC. Oh, this is what it is. We're museum curators. This is a museum. You're a curator of a museum there. We're preserving popular culture for people in the, it's not that I have tours here or anything, but I just like to refer to ourselves as museum curators. And you can even give a name to your museum. And, but this is my PC. No, this is my museum. This is the museum. You don't understand. It's not a PC. That's a stupid, I hate that. Um, I'd say PCH, but Charlton 66 uses that, and I love him, so I'm not going to go off on that. But that means pre-code horror. I'd rather just say pre-code horror. It doesn't take that long to say it, so. Tech. Ooh, that's the worst people that call Detective Comics tech. Oh, they're the worst people in the world. No, 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 no. It's Detective Comics. It's not tech. Yeah, I'm looking for a tech 127. Tech. No, don't do that around me. Going forward. Now that's not from the comic book community. That's just an annoying phrase that comes from socialism, from communist posters. Moving forward, going forward. Oh, I hate that. OTR. Okay, that means off the rack. This is my OTR copy. No, I just bought this one when I was a kid. I'm not going to say OTR. LCS, local comic store. Why don't you just say my local comic store? The comic store could. It just makes you sound cool with these little terminologies. I think that's the whole list. I've got 9.8 there because that's. But apparently, I was watching someone earlier today. They say 9.8 is no longer. Now everyone wants 9.9. Okay, what else is going on? People talking about chocolate chips. I have a damn appointment. What? What? What is going on? I do like Chud, though. I remember hearing that they closed Euro Disney, says Meyer, because every night during the fireworks, the French kept surrendering. Yeah. Great legend. Gratu, you were cooler, and I know because I was there. I was there. I know, great legend, that you are one of the original people because not that I, from experience, but I just know that I think you started with Captain Strangelove. But I don't hear you brag about it. It's like I just can't watch these younger people because I was one of the originators. I just don't like John Goris. In the beginning, there was Captain Strangelove. Well, yes, he started YouTube, but I mean, you could get all um, you could say, well, I was on public access television back in the 80s. Um, Yeah, I mean, I was doing a similar show with Joe Riley back in 94, 95, called The Hypnotic Eye in on Dallas Public Access Television. So, and then someone else might have, well, I was at a convention showing comics in 1972. But Strange Life started it all on YouTube. I'm, I'm 100% sure of that. Okay. Grotz, tomorrow you got to take Drew. Hell is a grommet? At 2:45, she's stanky. Okay, I have to take her to be. With what money are we going to pay for that? The borrow it out of the money for the roof repair? I guess so. Okay, so I guess, yeah. Okay, we did have an appointment booked for June. I guess June is here. Okay, we go to this she meant groomer and she put grommet. That's spelled correct, or either that or she's trying to be funny. Oh, probably because you shouldn't use that other word because then AI is going to think you're talking about another kind of, it's a bad word. The grommet. Okay, 2:45. Okay, so I'll be off work. I'll be finished by the time the Dum Dum celebrations. That doesn't start till no. The groomer will be done before, and even an hour passes, so that'll be fine. No problems with the Dum Dum celebration. My great legend. My popularity was strong when I did comedy cooking videos. So much fun. That sounds cool. I hate when they say tech. Yes, who started that? That's the guy we got to hunt down. Well, mainly, I don't know. Why do you want to call it tech? It sounds like Scientology when you say that. Not that there's anything wrong with Scientology. They're all wonderful people. Greta Orloff. I like mint chocolate chip condition. LOL. Oh, what? But Meyer, if you're still watching, remember we had all these names, like that we could have as comic book identities on YouTube. What was one of them? Rusty Staples and 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 there was something about spine ticks. That's another new term. I don't have it on my list. I probably need to add it. Spine ticks. All you got to do with a spine tick is get a little felt tip marker and fill it in. No, I'm just kidding. I know that you shouldn't do it. Although I think my first appearance of Ghost Rider in Marvel Spotlight, didn't that have a black border around it? I think back in the late '70s, I might have used, I might have filled in a couple of spine ticks on that. Oh well, I'm not ever going to be selling it or having it slabbed, so it's just gonna. It's part of the history of the comic in my possession. The only condition of any mint chocolate chip around my house is eaten, says Paula. It's amazing how chocolate chip cookies can bring cultures together. Did you know that people in Portugal ate chocolate chip cookies? It's amazing. Maranya, I remember when AOL used to shut down for the night at around 2 a.m. Eastern Time and be back up around 6 to 10 a.m. the next day. And remember when the TV stations would have the national anthem with the flag waving, and then would go to snow, and then the next morning the national anthem would start, and then you'd have a fishing show, and then you got to see Underdog. But you'd have to be there 5, 6 in the morning before the Saturday morning network feed started at 7 Central. You could maybe see something cool like Go Go Gophers or Deputy Dog. Meyer, I don't want to hear about you finding a comic in the wild unless you live in Uganda. Oh, that's a great one, man. We gotta deliver that during the Dum Dum thing tomorrow. I found this in the wild while I was running around in my loincloth in the Congo. I snatched it from the hands of a great ape, and then I plunged my dagger into his heart so I could keep this copy of Strange Tales 72. She was pissed off. She's over it. Yeah. Great Legend Show. I don't. Bragging is so friggin' annoying, and Hans is such a good, humble man. He wouldn't want the credit. Yeah, but he gets it. I meant groomer. Or grommet. What is a grommet? That has a meaning. What does grommet mean? I set up that appointment a long time ago. Sorry. There's nothing wrong. Oh, we didn't realize that we would be financially in peril at the time. I understand. No, it's okay. It's okay. We'll survive. I just got a notification I'd forgotten, but yes, autocorrect. Great Legend. If we find out who invented tech, go back in time and have a T-2000 Skynet model Terminator and take the tech out of comic fandom. Cheap spine, chip spine. Oh yeah, chip spine mini. Man, we're starting to talk very cryptically. Chip spine mini. I'm trying to talk like Yoda. We should probably have says Keister, we should probably have a moon tower party like in Dazed and Confused. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Dazed and Confused. Great movie. Mint chocolate chip ice cream, Gratz. You need to try it. Gratubus. Very unadventurous with flavors and foods. Oh, well, that's not necessarily true. You got me eating Mediterranean food. Paulo, you dare outbid me on eBay for this 9.8 slabbed New Mutants 98? Tarzan Bundolo, says Paulo. John Gordis says, I found a small toad today. He's going to be in my new animation. No worries, he survived the ordeal. Have you ever had a living creature in your animation before? That's actually great. That's a great idea. Incorporating living creatures into your animation. Grommet, Maranya says, if I recall, is the kind of fastening. Meyer Greenblatt says, a grommet is a metal fastener typically used in fabric. Or also, a novice surfer is a grommet. I thought that was a grimmy. Or it could be a grommet. Maybe both. You'll know the surfing terminology. The the surfers look down on, if they look down on you, you were a hodad or a grimmy, right? Or maybe a grommet. I once watched an Australian show. I'm sorry. I once watched an Australian show about surfers, and Bronco sang this. I once watched an Australian show about surfers, and a grommet was a slang for a young, inexperienced surfer within the surfer neighborhood. Everyone's afraid to say community around me. Greta says, "You have gotten better. You were almost as bad as Gerald with foods when we met, LOL." Gerald's our friend back in the old country in Texas. He didn't like eating anything but a cheeseburger, Mexican food. Oh, but I got him into a Chinese buffet. He says, "Oh, I don't think I'm going to like it." And it's like, "Oh, we got to go back to that Chinese," but he loved it, man. But he, he's just, he's like an 8-year-old in that sense. John Goris, it's kind of a first. When will we be able to see this, man? Are those hooks on bras grommets, says Greta. The Great Legend Show says, Sir Gratu. Sir Gratu, as a kid, did you ever play with sea monkeys? Remember Kevin showing an old ad for sea monkeys? Kevin was completely into sea monkeys. I've watched him go down different rabbit holes. He was really into skulls. Then he was really into sea monkeys. He's always really been into Garbage Pail Kids. But what else did he get into there? Oh, Pinplex aerating ornaments that you put in the aquarium, the little pirate chests that open up, and the skeleton hands, and the creature from the Black Lagoon that went up and down. It was they were little toy things that kids loved, and the dad would put it in the aquarium, and it would let bubbles come up. It would aerate and give oxygen to the fish. He was into those. His current thing, he's into vintage masks. Maybe he's always been into all of these things, but right now he's focused on masks. And he should be getting a new one by tomorrow to see on our Dum Dum celebration tomorrow night at 6:30. By the way, I have to turn the phone sideways. It's 6:15, so I'll be cutting the feed before too long, and we can all go watch the science fiction stuff. Okay, what's going on here? Man, people are really I'm not used to all I'm doing is reading comments. It's it's okay. It's all right. A Grommet is a British claymation dog. Oh yeah, that's right, says Keister. Great Legend Show. I went to Waffle House last week, and boy was I lucky. This time my waitress had more than 4 teeth. Oh yeah, Waffle House. Bronco Bear. Neighborhood Buffet. Oh, Dr. Fibes is here. He says, hello, everyone. My wife, Greta, says, I've been missing Gerald lately and going to El Gabacho with him. Oh, yeah, El Gabacho was this great Mexican restaurant. If you live back in Texas, go to Pantego. Hopefully it's still open. It's been a few years since we lived there. A place called El Gabacho, which means, what does that mean in Spanish? The cowboy. And the whole restaurant's decked out in John Wayne memorabilia, mostly, or country western star memorabilia. And the Mexican food is just great. Oh, man. Yeah. I wonder if we'll ever go back there to Texas. I hope so. My wife says, Doctor. What does that mean? What is that? Oh, Dr. Fibes. I thought she was calling for her doctor. Meyer, grommets are the metal rings around the holes in a flag. Right. That's right. That's where I knew the word. Grommet, yeah. What the hell? John Goris, want to finish in a month or two from now, so in the summer. Is that your main project right now? Or do you ever work on 2 different things at once? I don't know if that would be confusing. Thanks for the answer, Meyer. Great Legend Show. Hey, Dr. Fives, good evening. My wife Greta says maybe people can't afford blah 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 in this Biden economy anymore, and their teeth are growing back. Well, you could be like Hunter Biden. He shaved them down to little nubs, and then I guess he had new teeth installed on top of them, which you can do if you're a multimillionaire, possibly a billionaire, with the help of other countries. Not to be politically controversial, he seems like such a nice young man, Hunter Biden. Um, what are people saying here? I've had my way with several middle-aged. I've had my way with. I've dated several middle-aged women online recently. I'm not proud of it, but technically nothing happens, so I'm not ashamed either. I think he means not. That might be a Freudian slip. Meyer says, presently here, gram is a surfing slang. I'm sorry. Presently here, gram, I can't read. Presently here, grom is a surfing slang for a young beginner or even just a young surfer in general. Okay, so it's no longer 1964 or 63. Perhaps surfing slang has progressed since the days of the Beach Boys and the Trashmen. Okay, so I'll have to accept that, but I don't accept that that this progression of terminology. Things have to stay the way they were. I've got some other stuff on this. This piece of paper is where I just carry it around with me, man. I've got things on here written. It's like an old man with Alzheimer's writes down stuff so that I've got phone numbers written here. I even have my own phone number written here because I forget my own phone number. I've got Eric Breen's phone number there. I got Dr. Fives. I won't his real name written there. I've got the Aragon Ballroom at Lick Pier in the Ocean Park District of Santa Monica, California, Pacific Ocean Park. I have that written down so I can remember where the Hotel Orloff is located, just in case I get lost. Let me read the rest. Man, there's so many comments. Great Legend Show. Keister. Keister, through my years, I have learned ladies always teach me something. What? John Goris says, I have a few projects in play at the time. Got to show you my new Betty Page sketchbook. Made a Batman one too. Could you just come on now and show it to us, please? I beg of you. That will be a real highlight finale to the show. Meyer says, yes, the slang is constantly changing in surfing. I wish I had an orange Julius with an egg in it and a piece of Sabaro's pizza. Of course, you may be sitting there in your underwear, John, so you may not be able to. Bronco says, does Drew even know how to surf? What? Is Drew at least learning? Has this typo taken over the stream? Yum. Broccoli, Sabaro's pizza. I don't know what anyone's talking about. Okay. I wrote down a bunch of books, comics that I'd like to get someday. The fuck? I'm sorry. Oops. I heard a beep. Oh, it says Jerry the Jitterbug liked your photo. He must have liked some photo I put on Instagram. I'll put the link here again one more time just in case John Goris or someone else would like to come on for a few minutes. But we won't be able to go too much longer. It is 6:21 p.m. Oh man, lots of. Paula says broccoli on pizza, Greta. That's almost as bad as pineapple. No, fried egg on pizza. That's awesome. We had scrambled egg on pizza. I don't know. I don't know. Any 80s mall food would do, honestly, says Keister. That's the link to come on. Broccoli pizza is good, I promise. I want to try shrimp and lobster pizza. That's providing the shrimp is had its tail removed. Um, Some of these I don't know why they're on the list, but whenever I would see something, someone posted some comic, it's like, oh, I'd like that. I'd write it down here in case I ever have some extra money, which will never happen. So I wrote down Four Monsters Only, #2 was a magazine. The Fly, 14, 15, and 30. There must have been something about those particular issues. Mad, #11. It's the EC. Biggest, Greatest, Crack 7. I think I got that. I need to double check. Pink Panther, #31. The Laurel and Hardy #1 from DC. That was a comic I had. That was the first comic I ever bought on my own. I went to the right before we moved from Germany. We'd already packed and we were staying in a hotel or officers' quarters, and we were about to get on the plane and go to Hampton, Virginia, and I bought this Laurel and Hardy #1 from DC. So it was like early 1970. It was probably about June 72. I need to get that. Weird Western Tales #12. What are people talking about here? I don't know where people stop. Paula says, I love shrimp pasta with spicy tomato sauce. Maranya says, my personal favorite from a local place was tomato, spinach, ricotta, cheese, mozzarella cheese, and tomato space sauce pizza. Bronco Bear says, I've only been in Buenos Aires for a handful of days, but I already see that Hawaiian-style pizza is on every menu. The Great Legend Show says, Sparrow Pizza at Valley View Mall 1995 and playing arcade games at the Tilt Suncoast movies. So good. Vester 55 says, when you going back to that big ass comic book junk shop Gratu, the one in the state you live in now, I should. I don't have money to do that, but man, if Meyer shows up, was talking about making a cross country trip. If Dr. Fives comes through and stays more than a few hours, and if he was to stay a couple days, I might make a trek out there. He's talking about a place called Canesville Collectibles. It's a giant building. I think it's a 4-story building, and it's a record store, but it also has comic books, and I think it's more organized than the last time I went. I filmed it the last time I went. The basement used to be a bar in the 1970s, and it's still all shagged out, shag carpeting on the walls, and all the curvy lines. They used to have mirrors on the wall. But they got in trouble and they got shut down because they're letting underage people drink in there. But now that's where all the 78 RPM records are. And it's not normally open. If you want to look at 78 RPM records, they'll never let you go down there. But it's real dark and seedy. But it's a great place. I haven't been there in a couple of years. Yeah, Canesville Collectibles. There's some other videos besides mine on, it's spelled Kane, Canesville, like Bob Kane. If you type that in, you'll probably find my video. And one where this rockabilly musician says it's the best record store in the world. Let's see. It is an adventure to shop there. Greta says, tell us the best foods of Buenos Aires, Bronco. Great Legend Show says, Larry Harmon, yeah. I mean, it's not that special a comic. It just has important. I don't know where that comic went. Why did that one comic disappear? I had the first DC Tarzan that disappeared. And in recent years, my copy of All Star Comics 58 just vanished. I can't account for that. I know that book, yeah. Which one, Fester? That's my wife talking. Bronco Bear says, I've had lobster and artichoke hot pizzas, and it was awesome. My wife says, "Does Fester mean the record store?" Yeah, I maybe I can take my wife this time. I think she'd love it. The acquisitions of Dr. Five says, "I was in Argentina for 2 months training firemen. Buenos Aires is a great city. Steak is the main staple of food in Argentina." And Fester's 55 says, "Breakfast pizza rules. When I lived in Plymouth, there was a great joint I would go to every morning. Skips. We called it Skip Dogs." Let's see this here. Oh, it's John Goris. Fantastic. Oh, there's some feedback. I think you got some feedback. Seems like we had this problem one time. Sounds like like you're sitting in an electric chair.
Is this better?
It's a little better. I can still hear a little hum, little electronic hum. No, it's gone.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool.
I was gonna try to use these things, but I guess not. I'm using the built-in mic right now.
No, it sounds better, 100% better. You don't trust that technology.
Right. Okay. So yeah, let me show you my now this Betty Page book. It does have nudity in it. I mean, it's we're talking black and white drawings here. So
Could you kind of I don't know YouTube's rules. Could you maybe put your thumb over the naughty bits? Or
that's even like more perverted. That's even dirtier. Doing that.
Yeah, but it's just I just don't want what happened to the great channel, the Crypt Keeper of Castle Hills.
Perverted. That's even dirtier. Doing that.
Yeah, but it's just I just don't want what happened to the great channel. I'm okay. My repetition has ended.
Good. Yeah, I'm in the studio window, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think when you're showing like photographs, like actual photographs, these are like based on photographs. They're not photographs. I mean, these are like drawings. Like, I don't know. Like, okay, I'll show you okay, whenever there's bush, I'll pass by the bush drawings. How about that? So like the tips drawings, I think are okay. Right?
Could you take pictures of this stuff and put it on Instagram so we could see it?
I don't do Instagram. It's just another thing I don't do. I should do Instagram. But anyhow, here's like enough talk. And
okay, right. Yeah, it's
like her. See. Or no, that's a Bush one. This is an okay one. I think this is okay. This is kind of like I got this book of trading cards of nose art. You know nose art, like the nose, the art on, and it's like some of it's like really crude, and not crude in terms of like obscene or risque or anything, but crude in terms of like the artwork.
Right. They got someone that that kind of could paint to do it.
Yeah. But I mean, it's hard. I mean, drawing the figure is hard, It just is. I mean, I took a lot of figure drawing in art school, but I couldn't draw a figure from my head.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's like a real skill, That's like really something to do that, in my opinion.
Well, I think most artists use photo reference.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
All the great artists had giant files of photos, stuff they clipped
That's
from
true.
magazines.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
But when you're clipping other people's art to use as a reference, that's not quite as fair as if you're clipping photographs, because clipping a photograph isn't that much different from using a live model. You're just,
Yeah. Well, in a way, it isn't, because like, you know, all the kind of the composing on the you know, the 2D world, taking something from 3D world and putting it into 2D world,
yeah,
like all the critical decisions about how to place things, what goes against what, you know, like you know, foreground, midground, backgrounds, and however much they're going to be emphasized or whatever. All those, most of those, like all those decisions have been made.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So the decisions that I'm making when I'm doing like a drawing off an old photo is I'm figuring out like what to turn, how to turn a photo into a stylized drawing. You know, because if I just wanted to make the photo, if I just wanted to reproduce the photo, I would just do that. You know, I'm translating it into something else. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's kind of like doing a cover to a song. Don't you think? A cover to a song? I mean,
Yeah.
is that the right analogy?
Yeah. Yeah. Fester's making a good point. He says not every bomb group had a Walt Disney artist laugh out loud. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, some of them actually did have Disney artists.
Yeah, like some of those guys, like doing those like drawings and paintings and shit, like they were probably like, they learned their skill in like prison or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some of them are just, you know, some guy
They,
critically trying
or
to
they were like
recreate something
they
from
made like,
Esquire.
yeah, or they weren't professionals.
You're right.
You know, they were kind of like, they had programs for these guys, like,
Yeah,
you know, oh, what do you want to do? And then, and, you know, one of the things that they could do, one of the trades that they could learn would be like art, you know, and yeah, I mean, whenever you have a certain number of guys just at random, some of them are going to be kind of, you know, go for that.
Yeah. So when did you start on this sketchbook?
I didn't date it. I should have put down some dates. I gotta get in. Well, it doesn't really matter. I don't know. I started like 3 months ago or something,
Yeah.
and I've kind of gone back to it and gone back to it. And whenever I'm like bored or whatever, and I just need something for my hands to do,
Yeah.
you know, and I don't have anything else to do at the moment that I can focus on, I'll just, you know, I'll just work on one of these drawings. I think this book is done though.
That last one was really good.
I don't see myself doing any more with this. You know.
Yeah, you should always date and sign everything.
So yeah, some of these drawings just aren't. Some of these just didn't come out well. This came out well, but I'll there we go. I'll see. Know what I mean about it looking even dirtier? You know. Let's see. Right. Ratu, you've gone radio silent, man. Are we there? Hello, dude. I'm in the studio, so I can't hear a freaking thing. Like if you're saying anything. So did you mute yourself or something? Am I carrying this show? I don't know if I can carry the Grow to show all by myself. That's a that would be quite a responsibility. What else? I have the Batman sketchbook too. I thought that would be good to show. This is so annoying. This is so annoying. Oh my god. This is horribly annoying. Come on. So annoying. Oh my god. Dude. Dude. What the yeah, this is a disaster, and I'm gonna bail because like this is just stupid. Yeah, it's probably my fault. I don't know what happened, what I did, or but it's probably my fault. So I'm gonna leave the studio. Go to. I wish I could have shown you more. This was fun, but I'm checking out. So. Till next time.
that. My phone died. Um, it expired. It passed away. Lack of electricity. I thought it was plugged in, but it wasn't. So now let's see what's going on. Choo-choo-choo. So Greta Orloff says that last one looked like Bernie Dexter. Bernie Dexter is a model that looks like Betty Page. My wife says he probably got kicked off. Dr. Five says great drawings. I bet his phone died, says my wife, because he doesn't listen about charging his phone. LOL. Glinzer says because Gratu abandoned you, draw him in a goofy style. I didn't abandon anyone. It was an accident. Can you see the chat, John? I can go check on him to see what's going on. Bronco Bear, Grot got kicked off. I'm on a delay, says John Goris. I always tune in when there's a controversy. What controversy? I found something on Tubi TV, says Maranya, which is free, that Gratu would love. Speed Racer, the cartoon, but the original and the version we saw as kids, the dubbed version. Yeah, the original version would be fascinating, the Japanese version. His phone died and he's trying to charge it, my wife is saying, which was true. I'm just glad he's okay. She came down from the attic to the third floor where I was broadcasting from. It didn't find me there because I had to come down here with it and charge it in this thing here. And she was worried and panicking that something had happened to me. The charger wasn't working, but it's starting to charge now. Yeah, it took forever to get it charged up where it could turn the phone on. I'll hang out a few minutes. Yeah, it's better if your phone dies than not oneself. Great Legend Show says amen. Bronco says, I hope Grot doesn't get frustrated over this. The neighborhood has his back. Frustrated? No, I'm sorry. I don't know. I I'm not. Okay. No, it's just if I disappear, it's because my phone died. Um, he'll be back ASAP. I got scared for a moment. He needs a TV bumper that reads, sorry, we're experiencing technical difficulties. Yeah. The Crotch Orloff show will return momentarily. Welcome back to the Great Legend Show. Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry, John Goris, if um, I don't know if you were upset at me. I wasn't doing that as a prank. It was my phone just ran out of power. I didn't realize I didn't have it plugged in. I get cocky because this new phone, the power supply seems to last forever. Whereas my old phone, I have to charge it several times a day. This thing just seems to keep going, and that was my fault. So I don't know. You had two sketchbooks to show. I don't know if you got to show both of them or not, and I'm sorry about that. So what time is it? It's Graphic Man starts in 4 minutes. Recording this music from some Japanese movie. And that recording has 3 minutes left to go. Anyway, man, um, so I guess I'll head down. And I just had dinner before I started the show. I'll go brush my teeth and see what science fiction comics they're showing over on the other network. And um, so anyway, people are talking about a controversy, so I hope that John didn't get upset with me. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll see you tomorrow, 6:30 Central, for the Dum Dum celebration. Take care, everybody. How do I stop this crazy thing?